Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson, the #1 educator in the asset recovery business. Today, guys, I have a great video in store. I am gonna break down if Florida actually is the easiest state to work. There's a lot of people talking about, oh my God, Florida is the easiest state. There's so much saturation. I don't know if I should work it. Guys, I am gonna reveal all of the truth in regards to Florida. Before we get started, guys, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You guys already know I'm doing this content for you guys so that you can dominate in this industry. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is, guys, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's some teachers in this business that are saying stay away from Florida. There's others that are saying, oh, it's saturated, I wouldn't even work it. And then you have members like me saying, hey, Florida is honestly the best state to work. And the reason why I believe that Florida is the best state to work is simply because of the transparency. Guys, in my training, I teach you guys when you're first starting off, you want to work in a state and counties that are transparent. What do I mean by transparent? This is going to be easily accessible to find information from point A to point Z in doing this business, from finding leads to submitting a claim. So if we're looking to find leads in Florida, super transparent, we can go to their auction calendar, which is hosted by a platform called Real Foreclosure. Real Foreclosure utilizes all 67 counties in Florida. So we're able to pull up the auction calendar for both mortgage foreclosures and their tax deed sales. And on this auction calendar, we can view upcoming sales so that we can utilize our pre-foreclosure strategy, and we can also view sales live and see the results. So you're able to see instantly if a property is sold to a third-party bidder for higher than what was owed. Another reason why I really like Florida is on the auction calendar, they give you the direct information. So on the tax sale side, the opening bid is how much they actually owed in taxes plus the cost to actually host a foreclosure. On the mortgage foreclosure side, they show the final judgment, and that's going to be the amount that is owed. It's not like a state like Ohio in which the opening bid is 2/3 of the appraised amount, so then you have to do a second layer of research. So Florida is very direct. You can easily look at an auction calendar and determine if or if not there is a surplus. So for transparency on finding leads, Florida is top notch. They also have portals in which you can do some research. Primarily on the tax deed side, a lot of counties will have their own. Some utilize Real TDM, which is Real Tax Deed Management, another sector of Real Foreclosure that handles a lot of information. And on the tax sale side, we're able to check to see if claims have been filed. We're able to see a notice of surplus funds letter. We're able to see a property information report or owners and encumbrance report that will tell us who the title holder is and if there are liens, which is crucial when we're doing this business, guys. We want to know who's entitled, how much the surplus is, if there's liens, and if a claim has been filed. And Florida is super transparent with that information. Now on the mortgage foreclosure side, we're able to go into the docket because it is a civil lawsuit, so we can perform a civil case search and we're able to see a certificate of disbursement. Certificate of disbursement in Florida is like the notice of surplus funds letter. It's going to break down the foreclosure proceeds. So it's going to say surplus funds retained if any, and then it'll show the dollar amount. And that, guys, can be sent to the client as proof that they're entitled to these funds. So Florida, in terms of finding leads, amazing. Florida, in terms of checking to see if a claim has been filed, amazing. Checking to see if there's any liens, amazing. Sending proof, amazing. Guys, great state to work. They give you tons of information, very transparent, very accessible. So that is why I believe that Florida is a green light, good to go. Now, is Florida the easiest? We just went over it is the most transparent. Now let's discuss the difficulty of Florida. Now, difficulty can be determined on how you can submit a claim, if the county works with third-party companies, if there is saturation. So let's go ahead and get right into it. In terms of ease to submit a claim, super simple. A lot of counties will give you their claim form. Specifically on the tax sale side, you can see the claim form and the instructions. On the mortgage foreclosure side, very simple. You're going to file a motion so that they can disperse the surplus funds, but I highly recommend using an attorney. So in terms of ease, green check for Florida, super easy to file a claim. Now, in terms of the counties working with third parties, also another green check. The great thing about Florida on the tax sale side, guys, you don't have to be an attorney. So it's not like a state like Georgia, for example, where they say, hey, we do not work with third-party members. So in terms of working with companies like ourselves, another green check. Now let's get into saturation, which is the huge question. A lot of people say, oh, Florida's too saturated. I don't know if I want to get into it. The truth is, guys, yes, there are companies doing business in Florida, okay? A lot of the top dogs doing surplus funds across the nation primarily work Florida, simply because you can hit it with huge volume with the ease of finding leads and filing claims. Now, just because there's business that is taking place does not mean you should be afraid. In my opinion, you should be excited, because if people are doing business there, that means that money is being made. So guess what? That is an opportunity for you to make money. If we have all these companies calling them, guess what? They're gonna choose the person who they relate to the most on the phone, and that could be you. The beauty about working in Florida is you do not have to be a resident in Florida to do that business. You can live in another state and still contact and close deals in Florida. All right, guys, another thing too, just because there's competition and businesses doing it does not mean that there aren't any leads to claim. Guys, I was just looking at Lee County, Florida. I was doing a training with my team. We went over the last 2 months on the tax sale side. We didn't even go further than that. We just went from the last 2 months to now, and there was over 200 open claims in which nobody has submitted a claim at all. We went on the tax deed portal. The county sent out the notice of surplus funds letter, and that was the last document that was uploaded. There was no claim submitted at all. That means that that claim is still up for grabs. So there are hundreds, if not thousands, of leads in Florida in which you can still work. So it is possible, and I highly recommend it. All right, so if you guys are looking to learn specifically on how to work Florida, I created a step-by-step guide for Florida alone. You're gonna learn everything about Florida. You're gonna get examples on how I do business in multiple counties. You're gonna learn all the important links, and most importantly, I'm gonna give you an attorney that you can work with based off of contingency. So go ahead and check it out, guys. The link is in the description. Super low cost training, and guys, you do have the assistance of myself if you need that help. So check it out. I'm looking forward to helping you out.
Karma is a must, still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, move G, anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword, swinging blades at these scrubs. Bitches flock like bugs to the light.